Yes, let's record. Yes. And we are recording here. 1 minute. Go here. See, I'm navigating okay over here. Here we go. Sichot. Oh, I'll answer the questions after the class. Here we go. Parshat Miketz. This is a speech for the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1955. In Parshat Miketz. Right, let's see how much we can finish. In Aneb in the beginning, it's in Yiddish. In Aneb in the beginning, let's see what is it? Yes. Yes, by 100%. Okay. In Aneb in the beginning, from Parshat Miketz, und Azoy Oichan also in the Friedrich in the previous Torah portion, Vayeshev, the Torah says, Vegen Chalomos, dreams. The dream of Paro, that's in this week's Torah portion. The dream of Yosef with his brothers. And the dream of the minister of wine, Sarah Mashkin, and the minister of bread. That was also last week. All these dreams were reasons why they eventually brought the Jews into Egypt. Right? What happened over there? Yosef had a bunch of dreams and his brothers hated him. So therefore, they threw him into a pit. They sold him into Egypt. When Yosef was in Egypt, he was put into a prison, and he happened to meet exactly the right people in prison, the minister of wine that had a dream. And Yosef interpreted this dream, and that eventually got him taken out of prison to meet Paro. And Paro had a dream, and Yosef interpreted the dream and gave Paro advice that he should store up food. There's going to be a famine, and everyone in the world came to Egypt, including and especially the Jewish people, Yaakov and his sons. And that began the exile in Egypt. And when the Jewish people were in exile in Egypt, that was a preparation for getting out of Egypt, receiving the Torah, coming to the land of Israel, and beginning the Jewish people. But nevertheless, these dreams immediately served as a cause, a direct cause of the Jewish people being put into exile. So the whole exile came mostly from dreams. Azoy also, all the things which are, just like everything in the world, has divine direction and divine meaning. So automatically also we can understand that the result, the exile, came from dreams, as a big connection with the idea of the cause of the exile, which is dreams. The connection between the exile and a dream is as follows. 1 minute. I think this is missing a couple words. Okay, it's explained in many places, that, and also in Torah, or that a dream comes from a very, very high power, the power of imagination, which for it can unite two opposite things, until even it says that in a dream, a elephant can jump through the opening of a needle. And also it has, but it has to be a thing that you thought about before. Before you thought about an elephant, you thought about a needle, you thought about it in a dream. These two things can be united together. Impossible. Also, in the time of exile. What's the time of exile? Durch sich im Ois, it appears as hat lieb, that he has love of God. And von deswegen, and nevertheless, he can also at the same time have lieb sein eigene Guf. He loves himself. A person can love God and also he can love himself. So he loves God, but on the other hand, to eat not kosher food makes me feel good, right? He eats whatever it is, a rabbit stew or something like that, and it feels good, but I love God. So what are you going to do? So he makes a blessing on the rabbit stew because he loves God, but he also loves himself. How can this possibly be? Like we said, a thief before he goes to steal, prays to God for success. And so he loves God, he believes in God, but he's a thief. He enjoys stealing or he's good at it. That's like a dream. Even though both of the things are simultaneously cannot really be together. But biz vanen as until as can vias vert in a tzveter or declared like it's in another place, it can be in all sorts of desires and even do sins, but he still believes in God, like we just finished saying, right? He likes to eat not kosher food, he likes to be a thief, but he believes in God. Nevertheless, filter ois dart Torah or it's continues filter ois and Torah or the Torah or explains as this terrible situation where a person seems like he's the biggest hypocrite in the world. I mean, he believes in God, he gives big lectures about God, and then afterwards he does whatever he wants to. Zolmen nit mena, you shouldn't think as vibald because that after he finishes praying and he really has a true love of God as er tan farker, and after he finishes praying, he does the opposite of what he thought that he must do when he's praying. That this is a proof as that his prayer is not worth anything. It's not. No, it's not so. The source of a dream is from such a high place that it can be in a time of exile, specifically, that both of these two things can be true. He truly loves God 100%. He truly believes in God. But on the other hand, he also does sins. How can this possibly be? Says it makes no sense. That's the point of a dream. A dream makes no sense. That they're clearing, what's the learning from this is, in serving in our soul, by Yed and Yidden, by every single Jew, is their nefesh elokis, there's a godly soul. It's always complete. The Torah mitzvahs, was a Yid tut, which a Jew does, Zainen Ebek, are eternal. La'olam vo'ed. The Kegen, this corresponds to the not the not proper things which he does, Zayin mir nit, they are only temporary. Vayeder yid, because every Jew vedach sof sof and who's going to do tshuva. So the bad things are not really real, and the good things really are. But he's clinging to the bad things. How can he do that? Once in a while, he gets a little bit of a glimpse of the good things. They're both together. That's like a dream. The mele is oich itzter, even now, when he does things which are opposite the Torah, it's not really a true existence. Unazoi vi naharos muchsavim, like it says, that is what's called false rivers. Teichen velcher, but it says that there's one mitzvah in the Torah that requires you have to have living water. The thing of the red cow, you have to have the dirt, the ashes has to be put into living water. Living water means it has to come from a source that never stops. If it stops once every 7 years, then it's not really real. That's not really real. So if so, it's the same thing. A person gets into the world and he's excited, he made money, he got pleasures, but these things are not really real. So it means poof, it's all gone. It's like nothing. It's like absolutely, like he's done all these things and accumulated all these things, and suddenly it's worth zero. Like I told you a long story about it, but I mean, and just in general, let's say you've accumulated $5 billion in the bank, and tomorrow the American government announces that we've changed the currency. Dollars are not our currency in America now. Now our currency is fish. Fish. You have tadpoles that's worth something. You have this is worth something. Right? That's what we agreed on in Congress. We agreed on the national bank with that fish. What about all this money I've got in the bank? Well, you can wrap your fish in it if you have that. It's good for wrapping fish. All of a sudden, he had all this. That's what happens after a person dies. He realizes his money that he sent all of his energy. It's just like a big zero. It's like he was never born. But what about all the energy that he put out and all the good things he could have done? Didn't do them. says, but if you did one little good thing, that good thing is eternal. That's like a diamond. Oh, you did that. That's like a fish. You did that. That's right. That's eternal. That's eternal. It says, therefore, now we're in exile, and it seems to us what is bad is really good, and what is good is really bad. But nevertheless, we can say, no, godliness is bad because it stops me from eating this not kosher food, and it stops me from stealing and stuff like this. But I'm a good Jew. I'm a good Jew. The money I get from stealing, I'll give to the synagogue. So he believes in God truly, but it's not enough to make him stop. So therefore, so he says, but the fact of the matter is that little bit of good that he did, that's eternal. And the bad that he did, that's like the bad part of the dream. Just not really real. And therefore, can nit there ra, therefore bad cannot Iber Varen overcome, God forbid, the good. Yeah. Vile, because there is nit kind dover shall kaima, because bad is not a permanent thing. The kegen, the tov, which is not the case with good. Good is always complete. It's always real. When in them and in this is dam mila, there's an advantage in the time of exile over the time when it was a holy temple. What's good about the time of exile? It's so confusing. And Zamana bias when there was a holy temple. Haben geleicht, and there was lighting, the powers, inside powers of God, love, fear. But on that there's a limit. Darfan tor atame nit arainum in Mikdash. You couldn't bring something defiled into the holy temple. But in the time we got of exile, there's what's called the surrounding powers, is what we can even take things that we did that were forbidden, that were bad, and once we do tshuva, is we can elevate them. God, it says, God shochenitam betoch tumatam, that God dwells with the Jewish people no matter what they do. In the time of when the Holy Temple was there, if the Jewish people did bad, so God destroyed the Jewish temple, kicked them out. Now, we're in the time of exile, the Jewish people do bad, God has patience. What can we learn from this actually? Not like those people that have a mistake and they think that the only meglacha, the only possibility, the only possibility is gein mit mesuder dika avoda. We have to go in an order way of doing things to schwerer, go from easy to hard. Don't take too much on yourself at one time. Golos man, there is nit fartik, a person is not complete, is mit the erster for the first step, is therefore you can't do anymore, you can't go any further. Right? After you learn Torah and you do commandments, then you can start learning the secrets, inner secrets of the Torah. Then you can start going and spreading Judaism to other people. Says the Rebbe, that's what you think. In a normal time in the Holy Temple, you were right. That's the way things have to be. But the fact of the matter is now it's not that way. Why? 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh. Now it's not that way. You don't have to be orderly. Now it's like a dream. Ken men oich darv tan. A person you can do things because we are like dreamers. Hayinu kacholomim. Now you can do big things. Every service in serving God that comes into your hand. If it's sitting and learning Talmud, you can jump into it. If it's learning Chassidut, jump into it. Doing the commandments. It says, like the rabbis say, when it comes into your hand, do it. That's in the Gemara and Eruvin. A good thing comes in your hand, do it. You don't have to say, no, I'm not ready for that. When I feel it there, and even that person, which is in such a state that it says, Efshar, I can't begin to serve God without doing tshuva first. Nevertheless, the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, that's the inside of the Torah says, in the Shulchan Aruch, which is the revealed Torah, that it's not so. That you can, even though you're a big sinner, you can learn Torah and you can do the commandments, because temporarily, even though temporarily you're adding power to what's not good, but never to the side of bad, nevertheless, certainly, lo yidach mimenu nidach, God, no one will be pushed away from God, and certainly everyone is going to come back. The mitzvahs in the Torah that you do will light up inside of you and make you realize coming close to God is a good thing. It's a proper thing, and it's relevant to me. Just one second. I just want to have a look over here and see where this ends over. Yes. Okay, good. This is not only relevant to the revealed Torah, sitting and learning Talmud, learning this. So you don't understand in the beginning. You'll keep learning. You'll understand Mishnah. You'll understand Halacha. But also in the inside of the Torah, ideas of Kabbalah. Now we're not talking about going to the Kabbalah Center or something that you learn over there how to improve your personality and win friends and influence people. To be successful in business. We're talking about connecting to God, having love of God, learning the inner ideas of the Torah in order to have love of God, have love of the Torah, love of the commandments, to be emotional about Judaism. When the inside of the Torah and the customs of the inside of the Torah, like we teach in Chabad, other places, there also you have to grab on and eat. Chatav va'ishti. Grab, it comes into your hand, grab on and eat, grab on and drink. Hagam as middoros frieder, even though that in previous generations, you cannot begin learning the inside, the secrets of the Torah, until you, first of all, it says, you fulfilled many conditions, is aber but. In the Heintika Doors now, in our generations, it's like a dream. It's a commandment to reveal the deep inner secrets of the Torah. It's like a elephant jumping through the eye of a needle. My mind is like the eye of a needle. My soul, my heart is like an eye of a needle. How am I going to put Kabbalah, these ideas into my heart? It says we're in a dream now. Nowadays, especially after the revelation of Hasidut by the Baal Shem Tov and the first Rebbe of Chabad, so there, in a revealed way, nach falger, and those people that came afterwards, and those people that came falger, those people that came after him, is the Alter Rebbe and the other Rebbes afterwards. They revealed more and more Hasidut. So now this portion of the Torah, which was secret and which was inaccessible to everyone, now it's not only accessible, but it's an obligation for every Jew to learn. And by means of that, acting in such a way that now we're like a dream. It's like a dream. You can accomplish the greatest things in Torah and commandments of just grab on whatever comes into your hand, do it as far with good things that we can, and not making any reckoning with your own stand, who you are, and what you did just yesterday, or even a minute before. But you can also do Torah and the commandments now. Like when I go out on Friday, I put tefillin on people. I ask, would you like to put on tefillin? Sometimes people say, listen, you don't know what I just did 1 hour ago. And I say to them, listen, whatever you did an hour ago is an hour ago. Now we're not talking about now. Now you're a new person, right? And they say, okay, we'll put on tefillin. We'll even learn a little sentence of the Torah, which this is similar to the whole idea of a dream. Also, the same thing is then Mir thus the light of the Torah and the commandments itself. Not only can we take on things that we seem that we're not relevant, it's too high, too holy for us, can we take them on, but also the holiness itself. We can take away the punishment of exile, and we can bring the true light of the redemption to the world. Hashem yiyeh l'chol ha'or. It says God will be a light to the world. Think to yourself, how are we going to bring the Moshiach that all the Jews are going to do Torah commandments? The whole world is going to believe in the Creator. They're going to drop all the religions. I mean, are you real? What are you talking about? The world has appreciation, ability to appreciate God like the eye of a needle. It says, oh, that's exactly the point. And learning the Torah and God is like an elephant. Says, now we're dreamers. In a dream, you can put an elephant into the eye of a needle. A zoy min is like the shas is very lichtig, just like when it's light outside, as then a person all of a sudden wakes up from his dream and realize, wow, you do a little, just turn on a light, and all of a sudden the whole world changes. And thus is the anzoig, and this is the teach from the dreams, which were the reason for the exile. Let's just take a small example. I mean, things that are bad are not as powerful as things that are good. A little bit of light pushes away a little darkness. came these people and they said there's the corona. We got all of a sudden the whole world changed, went crazy. They were afraid. They put masks on. We got to worry. You got to don't touch people, don't breathe, don't this and that. If the whole world can change from such a stupid, false idea, evil idea, is that this thing is so tremendously dangerous. The corona, there was a corona. It was what is a 5% real and 95% just paranoia. If for such a false, terrible thing, the whole world can change, how much more so the whole world can change in one instant for good? Instead of people putting on masks, people will be happy to see each other. Instead of people being afraid to go outside, people will love to go outside to be with others, to do good. That's the whole idea of getting out of that. How do we get out of the exile? Well, let's look at it. The reason for the exile was because, and Egypt was the worst exile of all. Therefore, all of the exiles are called the exile of Egypt. They're called, nevertheless, vegan in men, davka, from Desvegan, nevertheless, is men davka by means of this exile. What happened over here? 1 minute. Oh, yeah. The exile, we can, by means of the exile in Egypt, says they went out with tremendous riches. Similarly, also in the exile we're in now, even though our services now and our time of exile is like a dream, and we have to act like a dream, do the best, biggest things in the world, even though we don't think we're ready for it. We're like the eye of a needle. Nevertheless, now we will go out with big riches. What are the riches? The fact of the matter is this whole exile is just like one big dream. And we can all of a sudden wake ourselves up and come to a higher level. And in a way of Eber Springer, we can jump out and do more Torah and more commandments than we thought possible. This will take away the dream, will wake us up from the dream of exile and bringing to, like the days going out of Egypt, God will show us big miracles in the coming of the Moshiach Tzidkenu, Bimhei Rabbi Amenu. In other words, be a dreamer for good. Do good things, Torah, commandments, and we'll say all of a sudden, just like a person wakes up 1 second, the whole entire dream goes away. So also this terrible dream of exile will go away. And now, did a lot today, but okay, we will stop the recording. Yeah, just a day ago. I just did it a day ago. I used to have this organization, used to make these, organized videos of me, and they put, titles on it, and they had a background, and they did this, and editing and everything. But now they decided to go sort of a different direction. And they're doing things that are more, like a play or something like that. Anyway, what they're doing is very nice. So I'm just going back to what I used to do, and every week I make a video of myself. I tried to make it outside, but yesterday there was too much noise. But I'll try to make it outside to have a nice sort of background and everything like that. Or I get one of those green sheets and you put it, then you can put anything. You can put, spaceships behind you, whatever you want. Okay, now we'll let us do the Yom Yom. We'll do the Yom Yom. We're coming close to also doing the Yom Yoms here. Oh, we didn't do it. Here we go. We're really spending a lot of time today, but that's okay. We don't mind it. All right. Can we record? Let's try it. Oh, no. We were recording. Okay. And now we're going to start recording, I hope. No, we didn't stop recording then. I see. I press the buttons and they don't stop. Okay.